Chandamama Mahabharata, Part 34. Karna's Digvijaya. Having escaped death as though only his eye had been lost, and suffering unbearable humiliation, Duryodhan met all his people and, sinking in unbearable shame, set out on his journey to Hastinapura, making a camp on the way where there was a lake. Karna, who had fled from the battlefield, rejoined Duryodhan at that camp, and unaware of what had happened, said enthusiastically, "Duryodhan, how should I describe your valor? Are you returning home having conquered those Gandharvas? They are formidable. Unable to withstand them, I fled on Vikarna's chariot, remained hidden somewhere all this time, and am arriving just now. There is no other warrior like you in the world." As Karna praised him in this manner, Duryodhan could not hold back his sorrow. With a trembling voice, he narrated everything that had happened to Karna and said, "If I had won in the battle, I would have gained glory, or if I had died, I would have attained Viraswarga, but neither happened. I have become a loser on both fronts. I cannot return to Hastinapura carrying this humiliation. I cannot show my face to my father, Drona, Kripa and Ashwathama. I cannot tell them what happened. I have developed a deep disgust for life. I will die. I will fast unto death right here. All of you proceed to Hastinapura. Crown Dushasana, and all of you stay together and rule the kingdom." And he embraced his younger brother. Both of them wept. Karna grew irritated seeing their weeping and said, "Why are you both lamenting? Crying more only brings more tears, but not peace of mind. Why are you agonizing over the fact that the Pandavas rescued you? It is their dharma to serve you as your subjects. What humiliation is there in this? You say you will die. If your vassals come to know of this word, they will count you as a coward. When you snatched away everything the Pandavas had, did they fast unto death? Give up such foolish thoughts." Immediately Shakuni said, "I won everything belonging to the Pandavas in gambling for you, and instead of enjoying it, why do you say you will fast unto death?" No one's words reached Duryodhan's ears. He spread sacred grass, wore coarse fiber garments, and began his fast unto death. The Danvas, who had been defeated by the gods and established their residence in the netherworld, came to know about Duryodhan's vow to fast unto death. In order to bring Duryodhan to them, they lit a fire, chanted verses from the Atharvaveda, and offered oblations of milk into the fire. Then, a power called Kritya emerged yawning from that fire, stood before the Danvas, and asked, "What is required of me? Duryodhan has undertaken a fast unto death in the earthly world. Bring him to this netherworld," the Danvas said to Kritya. Kritya brought Duryodhan to the netherworld. The Danvas kept Duryodhan among themselves throughout that night, conversed with him, and said, "Your vassals are great warriors, and you are a noble warrior. Why have you forsaken the code of warriors and undertaken a fast unto death? By doing this, you will gain nothing but the sin of committing suicide. You will not attain either happiness or glory. Only your enemies will rejoice. We are telling the truth, listen. Having obtained a boon from Ishvara, we ourselves created the upper half of your body, which is equal to a diamond, and having obtained a boon from the mother of the universe, we created the handsome lower half of your body. You are not an ordinary mortal, you are a divine being. All those who will fight on your side in the battle and slay your enemies are born of our essences. Your friend Karna possesses the essence of the demon Narkasura. Therefore, do not grieve." Having comforted his mind, they sent him back. Kritya brought him back to the earthly world, laid him on the bed of sacred grass, and disappeared. Duryodhan woke up from sleep and thought everything that happened in the night was a dream. He did not tell anyone about it. This time, Karna was able to change Duryodhan's mind easily. He took his entourage along and returned grandly to Hastinapura. In the full assembly, Bhishma said to Duryodhan, refusing to listen when warned, "You went on the Ghosha Yatra and suffered defeat. Yudhishthir saved your honor and behaved generously towards you. Trusting Karna's words, you have harbored enmity with such a person. Karna, whom you consider a friend, left you to the mercy of the Gandharvas and fled from the battlefield himself. At least now, make peace with the Pandavas and protect the lineage." Duryodhan laughed loudly and walked out of the assembly with Karna, Shakuni, and Dushasana. Bhishma's words caused Karna to hang his head in shame. He said to Duryodhan, "King, give me an army. I alone will conquer all the kingdoms that Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadev conquered together, and I will hand them over to you. Then this old Bhishma will not look down upon me so lightly." Duryodhan agreed. Karna set out with the army, first defeated Drupad and exacted tribute. Then he marched north, defeated the kings of Anga, Vanga, Kalinga, Magad, Matsya, Kosala, and other kingdoms, and exacted tributes from all of them. After that, Karna undertook a victorious campaign to the south and defeated many kings. Kings like Rukmi of the city of Kundina did not fight Karna but became his friend. Having thus conquered the directions, Karna returned to Hastinapura after some time with immense wealth. Duryodhan congratulated Karna and said, "Despite the presence of so many warriors like Bhishma, Drona, Bahlika, and others, they could not render me the help that you have provided. There is no one equal to you in this world." Since Karna had conquered the directions, Duryodhan felt the desire to perform the Rajasuya Yajna. Making all the necessary arrangements for it, he summoned the priests and requested them to have the Rajasuya Yajna performed by him. But the priests raised objections to it, saying, "The Rajasuya Yajna cannot be performed without conquering the Pandavas. Moreover, your father is alive, and as long as he lives, you do not have the qualification to become an emperor. There is another sacrifice called the Vaishnav Yajna, which is equal to the Rajasuya Yajna. You can perform that sacrifice if you wish." When Duryodhan told this to his brothers, Karna and Shakuni, they advised him to do exactly as the priests had said. All the required arrangements for the sacrifice were made. A sacrificial hall was constructed outside the city. Duryodhan sent a messenger to invite the Pandavas, who were in the Dvaita forest, to the sacrifice. Yudhishthir said to that messenger, "It is a great thing that Duryodhan is performing a sacrifice. We too wish to come and witness the sacrifice, but if we come to Hastinapura now, our vow of forest exile will be broken, therefore, we cannot come." Bhima said to that messenger, "After our forest exile and incognito exile are completed, our Yudhishthir will perform a great sacrifice using weapons, offering Duryodhan and his brothers as sacrificial beasts. Tell Duryodhan that I will certainly come to that sacrifice." Duryodhan's Vaishnav Yajna was conducted successfully and completed. Congratulating Duryodhan, Karna said, "In the coming war, I will kill the Pandavas and have you perform the Rajasuya Yajna, just watch." Meanwhile, because the Pandavas stayed in the Dvaita forest for a long time, the number of wild creatures greatly declined because they hunted them. Therefore, Yudhishthir, along with his brothers, returned to the Kamyaka forest. There, they spent their time gathering fruits, berries, and tubers, largely sustaining themselves on those alone. 11 years of their forest exile ended. Yudhishthir felt very anguished. Had he not gambled, such unbearable hardships would not have befallen him, his brothers, and Draupadi. Thinking about what was to come also brought pain. Karna had promised Duryodhan that he would kill all the Pandavas in battle. With such mental agonies, Yudhishthir could not even sleep at night. While the Pandavas were in the Kamyaka forest, Vyas once came to see them, felt sorrow upon seeing them emaciated, spoke words that brought them solace, assured them that the Pandavas would regain their kingdom as soon as the 13-year observance was fulfilled, and departed. While the Pandavas were suffering in the forest in this manner, Duryodhan, Karna, and Shakuni kept thinking about how to cause them suffering. At that time, the great sage Durvasa arrived at Hastinapura with his 10,000 disciples. Durvasa was extremely short-tempered. He would issue a curse even if there was the slightest flaw in the hospitality provided to him. Therefore, Duryodhan and his brothers served the sage with utmost devotion and dedication, conducting themselves with humility and reverence. Durvasa subjected Duryodhan to various kinds of tests. "King, I am hungry. Have the meal prepared quickly. I will go bathe and return," Durvasa would say, "leave, and not return for a long time." Arriving late, he would say, "I have no hunger." Sometimes he would wake up at midnight and say, "We are all hungry." If food was eventually served, he would say there was no hunger. On some occasion, he would scold, "Fie, what kind of meal is this?" and stop eating. Seeing Duryodhan patiently enduring all of it and rendering services no matter how many such troubles he caused, Durvasa was pleased and said, "King, I am pleased with your attendance upon me. Ask for whatever you wish." Duryodhan was exceedingly happy that Durvasa did not curse him, consulted with Shakuni, Karna, and Dushasana, and said to Durvasa, "My lord, the highly righteous Yudhishthir is in the forest. Along with him are his brothers, wife, and numerous Brahmins. You must go there along with your disciples and ask for hospitality at the exact time when Draupadi has served meals to all of them, eaten her own meal, and gone to rest. This is the boon I ask of you." Durvasa agreed to that and set out for the Kamyaka forest along with his disciples. Duryodhan's joy knew no bounds. The Pandavas will incur Durvasa's wrath, fall victim to his curse, and be destroyed. After all this time, our desire is being fulfilled, Karna said to Duryodhan. Shakuni and Dushasana rejoiced. One day in the Kamyaka forest, At the very time when Draupadi had served meals to her husbands and the Brahmins, finished her own meal, and was resting, Durvasa arrived at their hermitage with his 10,000 disciples. Yudhishthir went forward to meet Durvasa, offered his greetings, worshipped him with the traditional offerings of water to wash his hands and feet, bowed down to his feet, and said, "Great soul, you must accept our hospitality along with your disciples." Without even a thought as to how a man living in this great forest would provide food for him and his 10,000 disciples, Durvasa agreed to Yudhishthir's hospitality and went to the river Ganges to bathe and return along with his disciples. Draupadi could not understand how to provide meals to so many people. Seeing no other course, she meditated upon Krishna. Chandamama Mahabharata, Part 34 is complete. For now, Swasti.